At the time of its opening, the Osaka Aquarium was the largest aquarium in the world. It remains to be one of the world's most famous and awe-inspiring aquariums, and for good reason. Its largest tank is 1,427,000 gallons of water, or 5,400,000 liters of water. And the aquarium as a whole has 11 million liters, or almost 3 million gallons of water. In today's video, I will be sharing with you the awesome creatures that I was able to see at the Osaka Aquarium during my trip to Japan in the summer of 2023. Hope you enjoy! Last summer, me and my family took a trip to Japan. While we were there, we made sure that we went to the Osaka Aquarium. As I got off the train near the Osaka Aquarium, I was immediately greeted by lots of reminders of where I was. Once in the aquarium, we were greeted by an underwater tunnel exhibit that you could walk through, and it held some really cool animals such as the Port Jackson shark and the blue-spotted stingray. It also held a lot of other fish. Once we were through the tunnel, there was a map of the aquarium that was 3D, and it showed just how massive the aquarium really was. After looking at the map, we took an escalator up into the Japan Forest exhibit. In this exhibit, they have some really cool stuff, and to be honest, I didn't get to see it all, but my favorite part were the Asian small-clawed otters. Their enclosure was beautifully set up with lots of enrichment, and they even had a school of fish to chase after. After the Japan Forest exhibit was the Monterey Bay. This area held two really cool animals, the California sea lion and the Larga seal. We actually came at a pretty great time because one of the sea lions was actually getting fed. Once you reached the lower aquarium, you could actually see the seals underwater, which is always awesome. The next main exhibit was the Gulf of Panama exhibit. And this one was really cool and had an awesome South American coati, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it was a really cool animal, and my favorite part though was the freshwater fish that they had in this exhibit. In this exhibit, there were some fish tanks with some really awesome freshwater fish, such as the arapaima, the silver arowana, the pacu, the red-tailed catfish, and a lot more. There was another separate aquarium with a bunch of red piranha, which was really cool as well. Next up was the Antarctica exhibit. Now, this enclosure held three different types of penguins, the king, gentoo, and Adelie penguins, and this enclosure also had an underwater viewing area. As we left the Antarctica exhibit, we were greeted with the amazing Pacific white-sided dolphin. At first, the dolphins weren't really doing much except for swimming around and pooping, but after a little while, some trainers came in and they started feeding the dolphins, and they actually did tricks for us. I was definitely not expecting that, and it was pretty cool to see some dolphins do some tricks for you in person. Seeing dolphins do tricks was definitely not something I was expecting to happen, and to be honest, I didn't even know that they had dolphins, and it's one of those things that I'm not sure how I feel about having dolphins in captivity, but it was definitely cool to see regardless. Next up was the Great Barrier Reef exhibit and the Seto Inland Sea exhibit. I especially love the Great Barrier Reef exhibit because when I visited, it felt like I was just back scuba diving or snorkeling in the British Virgin Islands. All the fish in these tanks were amazing, and I love all the colors and stuff, but I think my favorite has to be the moray eels. They're just so cool and big. As I looked away from the Great Barrier Reef exhibit, I was greeted by Osaka Aquarium's biggest and most famous exhibit, the Open Ocean. This tank is massive. It holds 5,400 tons of water and holds some of the ocean's most amazing creatures. Out of all the animals in this exhibit, the most well-known are for sure the Osaka Aquarium's two whale sharks. There are only 5 aquariums in the world with these animals, so I had never seen them in person, but this was really awesome. Besides the world's largest fish species, there were a lot of awesome animals, such as scalloped hammerhead sharks, a manta ray, reef sharks, giant groupers, various rays including the spotted eagle ray, large schooling fish, and a lot more. I found myself sitting on the benches next to this tank staring at it for a while. I'd never seen whale sharks or a lot of the things in this tank in person ever, so seeing all the animals was really mesmerizing. After staring into this aquarium for a pretty long time, I noticed that they had my current favorite shark, the wobbegong. Near the open ocean exhibit was another tank storing ocean sunfish and bigfin reef squid. These sunfish were definitely pretty goofy looking, and I definitely took some selfies with them for sure. After prying myself away from the open ocean exhibit and the sunfish, I went on to the next exhibit, the giant Japanese spider crabs. These guys are one of my all-time favorite animals, and through Japan I had seen a lot of art of them on like buildings and stuff, but I was definitely more excited to see them in person. These spider crabs have the largest leg span of any crab species we know of, and if you measure them claw to claw, it can reach up to 12 feet long. After the spider crabs, I took an escalator into the darkness below. This took me into a room full of awesome jellyfish and really cool enclosures. I had never really seen this many jellyfish in one place, and I had never really seen this many species in one place, so that was really awesome for me. After looking at the jellyfish, I moved on to the Arctic exhibit. This exhibit had some really cool animals, my favorite being the lumpsuckers, and of course, the ringed seals. The ringed seal is one of the most famous things at the Osaka Aquarium, and I love seals. My favorite animal besides the orca is the Pacific harbor seal, so these guys are really cool. And besides that, they're also very, very cute. After this, I moved on to another exhibit. This one had some southern rockhopper penguins, which is a really cool species of penguin, but as I looked behind me, I noticed the room's main attraction, the shallow shark tank. This tank held some really cool sharks, such as the zebra and brown-banded bamboo sharks, and it also held some rays, such as the honeycomb and pitted stingrays, and it was a really cool tank and had some very different and interesting species for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video about the Osaka Aquarium and my visit. I really enjoyed making it, and I honestly didn't touch on all the species that are here, obviously, and even areas of the aquarium I didn't really touch on, so yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.